So there is very serious crime out there. There's been a racism.
Oh,
I'm sure you're well aware. It's sad that this day, this terrible, terrible day of September the 11th, has been marked with such a crime as what we have witnessed in the UK, which is a man at the age of 60 has posted a meme in a WhatsApp chat.
I mean, that's pretty far, isn't it?
It is unbelievable that someone could do such a thing on ruin the day forever. Anyway, so for people who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, literally there has been some men who are going to jail for having a group chat. I'm not even kidding. But we'll start off by promoting something on lotus.com, this being the economics of margin call, because it's good fun, if nothing else. So do go and check that out. That's on the premium section of the website. But otherwise, we shall get into the news, just to put some meat on the bones. Here you are. This is real.
This is the crime you're talking about.
This is the very serious crime that has ruined the state forever. 5 former London Met police officers admit sending racist messages on WhatsApp after a BBC investigation.
This is just crushing. I think they will make several documentaries on Netflix about it.
God, I hope so. It's really the crime of the century. And the responses are cringe. Most people just posting like, well, this is proof that the police are really racist. We've got them, boys. Okay, well, should we check it out? Should we check out the dirty that they may have done? So here you are. Met police, ex-officers admit to sending racist WhatsApp messages. So we're not dealing with actual police officers there. We're dealing with people who left.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did they say? Did they say good morning to someone?
They
a GM, and it was interpreted as racist?
Literally, they posted memes.
Okay.
That's what we're talking about today. So you can see here that they've all been charged with sending grossly offensive racist messages. It's not actually a crime. The grossly offensive part of the crime. So this is the same law that they charged Count Dankula with for doing the pug salute. So we've got 5 people who were in the Met Police years ago and now have left and are now posting away in a WhatsApp chat with them and their friends, who are none of them police officers. But this means they all have to go to jail.
I can sense the music, the haunting music that they will have when they have a docuseries about it.
Well, they walk into the courtroom and just like the Empire Strikes Back music starts playing or something.
Yeah.
So should we have a listen to all these criminals, these dirty, dirty men who are going to ruin the world?
Are you sure it's not going to offend my sensitivities and my psychology is not going to be crushed?
Well, it depends how much you care about the royal family, to be honest. So they say here that the men pleaded guilty to the dirty crime of sending grossly offensive messages, including about the Duchess of Sussex. How could you? Other messages referred to the Prince and Princess of Wales, Queen Elizabeth II, and Prince Philip. We can kind of guess what those memes are. Sadly, no one will tell us in the media what those memes are. But I mean, we can guess.
Yeah.
I mean, what does everyone make fun of Meghan Markle for? And then what does everyone make fun of Prince Philip for? One's for being a victim of racism, the other one's for being a good old racist. That's the joke, which is, if you ever just looked up the, quotes from Prince Philip, none of them are actually racist. They're all just really funny, and that's how he gets that meme title.
Also on WhatsApp was one question, where are you from? That was incredibly racist.
No, where are you really from?
Where are you really from? No. Stop lying. Where are you really from?
Have you ever listened to the Prince Philip quotes or not?
No, but
all right, I'll give you one.
Indulge.
Just if you're a foreigner who doesn't know, go look it up. They're all great. One of them is him talking about, I think he goes to meet some Aboriginals in Australia. I can't remember the exact group. He just turns up and then says, "So you lot still chucking spears about then?" It's just like, okay, all right, man.
Is that the people who were worshipping Prince Philip, the cult worshipping Prince?
I don't know if he's ever actually met them.
Okay, yeah, but they still worship him.
I think they now worship the new king, which is, I think even they're disappointed about that. Anyway, so amongst the charges, the 5 men have also made reference to Rishi Sunak. How could you make fun of the Prime Minister in a private group chat? Just gross. They also made fun of Priti Patel and Sajid Javid. Terrible. Anyway, let's check out the officers. Peter Booth, 66 years old.
Okay.
We're dealing with actual pensioners. It's going to be literally a bunch of old pensioners, isn't it? He pled guilty to 4 counts. He retired from the Met Police in 2001.
Okay, so retired for 22 years.
22 years ago, this guy worked in the police.
Yeah.
So we got to take this seriously because this pensioner, and I don't know, they do put it here. The messages are all from 2020 to 2022. So when none of them are in the police force, a bunch of old men were having a joke in a WhatsApp chat. So they've all got to go down. Continuing here, we have Robert Lewis, 62.
Who knows who's watching? All these people spying on us. Have you ever considered their feelings?
I want to know who the rat was in the chat, to be honest, because that's a whole other question. But so Robert Lewis, 62, he admitted to 8 counts of breaking the law of posting memes. He posted 6 memes, presumably. Sorry, 8 memes. He retired in 2015. So there we are. He was dismissed for gross misconduct after he went to work for the Home Office in November. It's a whole other thing. So again, not a police officer during any of this time. Anthony Elsom, 67. Again, another old age pensioner from Bournemouth. He pled guilty to 3 counts of posting memes. He left the force in 2012, so it's 10, 11 years ago. Again, Alan Hall, 65, pled guilty to 3 counts of posting memes, retired in 2015. And Trevor Luton, 65, pled guilty to 1 count of posting a meme.
Let me play devil's advocate. We have all these demographic issues and people live longer, so it seems that they're in their prime.
The average Englishman now, because of the demographics, is about 65 with a racist group chat on WhatsApp for the old times. He left the force in 2009 too, so again, I don't think it could be any more clear how unserious this is, as in, why is everyone wasting their time with even going after these guys? Well, they said there was one more Met police officer who refused to plead guilty to posting a meme. I don't know how he could try and get away with such a terrible crime. He's 62, so he's not quite at the full retirement age now, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the pension age used to be 60, now it's 65. Don't ask me, I don't know anything. I'm just a humble moron. But we have found their secretary. There we are. She was the one, presumably, who did the leak, the undercover agent who outed all of these former Met police officers. For people wondering, this is actually a 90-year-old grandma who was a secretary in the Holocaust.
Yeah. So
they charged her with war crimes. Presumably, this is what will be happening to these boys too, because equally as unbelievable that you could have a group chat where you post memes. So there we are. Just mentioned earlier. I think I already did. The responses are just boring, where it's just people like, yeah, see, proof, racism in the police force 20 years ago. Except not 20 years ago, 2 years ago in a group chat of people who 20 years ago worked in the police force.
Yeah.
Okay, just normies being normies, I suppose. But then I had to wonder, they're like, look at these white guys who are being done. What would happen if you went and checked out the black police officers' group chats?
Well, can black people be racist? That's a question that people ask nowadays.
Stupid people, yeah.
Yes, but I'm sure it was gonna. I mean, if you want an honest answer from me, what I believe, I think that there's going to be plenty of racism there.
But no one's ever going to care, are they?
Yeah,
that's the reality of this part of the world. Which is, as you correctly say, people will say that the stupid people and be like, well, it's not really racist because they're black. Yeah, but he did say kill all white people. So, I mean, that's, I don't know, kind of on the racist scale, I would have thought.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, maybe.
I mean, do you remember actually, I think it was, you remember that Muslim police officer who went viral? Because all of her colleagues were there with their riot gear being, in a riot situation, and she was 4 foot in a hijab and acting tough. The footage she wasn't helping in the slightest, but she had an unhappy expression while standing there with a baton, so she became a meme.
Yes.
And then they looked into her. It turns out she was posting quite a lot of 9/11 memes in her group chats and public Twitter posts.
Did she lose her job or something?
She got suspended with pay.
Was there any public outrage about it?
There was one Daily Mail article.
Okay.
No crime was committed. But no, a private group chat, that's really a public communication network. It's a real crime. But anyway, some people get unlucky. That's the news. I mean, this happens. This genuinely does happen quite regularly in the UK. People listening, we're looking at a chap here who's had the group chat leaked and is now going to jail. And, well, there's one solution for the chaps if they're watching. Hello, boys. I know you're all 60, but, if you considered Afghanistan, there's not many hate speech laws against that kind of people anymore. So there you are. That's option on the table. But this story pops up every so often. Well, we'll find people who are going to jail for making tweets or Facebook posts.
Yeah.
It's stupid. They're dumb memes. People go to jail over this. But at least it's a public discussion. But your group chat?
Yeah, it wasn't discussed. No.
It's not even public.
It's not.
By definition.
That's why I said before, have you considered the feelings of all those people who spy on us?
They're the ones who were really hurt.
They're hurt.
Maybe that's how they were found. I mean, sincerely, unless someone did become a grass. Was someone at GCHQ just being like, I don't like this group chat?
Maybe you're going to see the woke bureaucrat saying, let's try to find racism on random private WhatsApp messages and WhatsApp conversation, and let us just grant access to all people's calls and find racism there.
You know what's annoying though is I bet they do that, find the racism, laugh, and then report it. Because I remember I spoke to a guy called Ryan Hartwick. He was a moderator for Facebook, and he told me they do actually sit there and look at your memes on Facebook, really like belly chuckle, laugh at them, and then hit delete.
Yep.
And then you get a report on your account because
yes,
it doesn't matter how funny you are.
I mean, there are crimes that are committed and that the police does not address, like shoplifting, murders, all this stuff.
Other racist memes.
You have to understand why they feel the particular need to address these memes.
Indeed, and so the boys in blue are going to save us.
It's an issue of priorities.
But there's another aspect of this I've always find fun. I mean, I mentioned it earlier. If there's ever a story about racist memes or a group chat, they never show you what they are.
Yeah,
they're never just like, yeah, here's the meme. Yeah, it doesn't need to deserve jail, because everyone would be like, no, that's funny. In fact, I'm going to copy that and send it to my friend. And you do. So I thought I'd go and check out what the media are saying, which is not much, weirdly. Again, this one just goes through the list of ages of the people, the various pensioners who are all going to the second trial.
No one talks about the meme.
Yeah. Well, they do mention some insight here in case you're trying to find those memes to send to your friends. According to BBC Newsnight, the group shared racist images too offensive to broadcast. So that means they weren't. No, they weren't. That's all that means. That means they weren't.
Yeah, the people who prosecute them had the ability to watch them?
Yes. The editor looked at the memes. The political editor looked at the memes. The staff looked at the memes. The investigators looked at the memes. None of their faces melted off. They didn't turn into ghouls.
Imagine how courts will be in the future. You're going to have a judge sitting there and say, no, I can't watch this. It's so offensive. Please tell me, you prosecutor, is it offensive or not? Will I be able to watch it?
Like a judge dealing with, like, I don't know, some child rape case where he's got to look at child porn to send the pedo down for life, and then goes into the racist meme trial the next day and is like, I can't. It's too many peves. Well, in fact, here they do mention there's some very disgusting languages here. There's very strong racial slurs, including the P word and the N word. Okay. As far as we know, those words have never been used for comedic purposes. Under any circumstances, no comedian has ever used those words in a comedic sketch or setup. So the only way they could possibly have been used was to spread hate, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's no way you would, I don't know, find funny out of those words. If you go on the internet, you'll never find that. That's absolutely the case. Sky News went with a weird one, which is they put this picture up. And then just below, they tagged the text where it just says, all 6 men have been granted unconditional bail.
Who is this Sergeant Nicholas Angel 20 years after Hot Fuzz?
Sincerely, this is pensioner Sergeant Nicholas Angel over there making a run for it. Yeah. He's going to try and find the border and break into Afghanistan so he can avoid going down for his memes. God, I would love to know what the WhatsApp chat does look like for Sanford, Gloucestershire.
Yeah.
Just, like, sincerely.
Yeah, okay.
It's just living in heaven. Pictures of London. Anyway.
For the greater good.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of want those memes now. Anyway, but the prisons of England, I think we have some footage of what they now look like, which is something like this, just people tunneling out. Various shitposters of all kinds are now being sentenced to between, I believe the punishment is up to 5 years in prison for one count of being
grossly offensive. That's ridiculous.
So if you have 8 counts, like that chat from earlier, I mean, what's that? I can't do math. 40 years?
Yeah.
40 years of tunneling to escape. So good luck. Don't post any more memes, you dirty, horrible man. You're ruining the UK. You know how it's kind of been going downhill since probably 2008. It's like the financial peak, civilizational peak. I don't know, like 1911. Depending on who you ask.
Depends who you ask.
Yeah, but the real reason for that is I feel the memes. I don't know what else could possibly be destroying this place. Certainly not the people they were making fun of. Anyway, but there's a bit more. We can see here the Times. Yes, what the Times decided to go with, the outlet that's usually considered, I don't know, slightly right-wing, so therefore tries to give it a fair hearing.
Oh, come on.
Well, they just brought up a bunch of rapists for no reason. I'm not joking either. So they mention it here. I don't know what paragraph it's on, but you'll find it your own time. We can see here some more criminals, chaps from earlier. I mean, I just want to have a pint with them looking at them. Same with that one. Probably got some good memes. We could, make a little exchange like Pokemon cards. Anyway, but they say here all 5 officers had served in various parts of the Met Police, including the Parliamentary Diplomatic Protection Command.
Yeah.
These are just the people who keep, MPs safe. Anyway, and then they just randomly bring up other people who have been in the Protection Command who are rapists, such as Wayne Couzens, 49, who was giving a whole life order after the abduction and murder of Sarah Everard. I don't know what that's got to do with the WhatsApp chat. They don't tell us if there were any Wayne Cousin memes in the WhatsApp chat. I don't think there were. Or they probably have mentioned it. So just okay, bring up one rapist murderer. David Carrick, who raped and abused at least 12 women over 17 years, whilst he was also with the Met, they bring up. Again, no justification as to why.
Yeah.
Just, don't you know there are also some rapists? Okay. I mean, I guess they both worked in the same unit, but I don't know what Cousins and David over here have to do with posting memes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're in the same unit.
I think crimes? That it used to be that there's the presumption of innocence, but now there's a presumption of guilt. So they just target people and they just think of the accusations later.
But I love the idea that you've got this rapist murderer and then men with WhatsApp chat. And it's just like, all criminals, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
And I think this is an outcome of the police not fighting actual crime. They invent new categories of crime, and they try to they try to say that they are fighting crime when they target the new ones. It's like with the slurs.
Well, I love the idea that you could. I mean, just for point of reference, let's take this guy here. Are you really going to describe your job as fighting crime for locking him up for a meme he posted? I mean, it's just actually insane.
You have to be insanely woke and an insane ideologue to think so.
Yeah. But there is a correct version of the story I did see from Paul Oakley, who posted this out, which is just 5 old age pensioners who were once in the Met Police have pleaded guilty to doing a racism on WhatsApp and have been grassed up by the BBC. There you are.
I like the phrasing, doing racisms.
They're doing racisms. They're doing them a lot.
Yes.
8 counts of racisms.
Yeah.
Like, you can collect it or something. Anyway, just to end this off, because, I mean, even if you sit there and think, well, okay, I hate racisms, all kinds of memes I despise, so they should be locked up. Well, the funny thing about all of this story is that everyone involved on the side of, look at these dirty racists, the BBC and the police both standing there being like, we're going to send them down, are actually the people who are destroying people's lives with their racisms.
Yes.
We've covered this before, but people who don't know. Here's the BBC saying that BAME-only jobs are legal. So this is a job where you can only apply if you're non-white.
But that's no racism somehow.
No, not only was it legal, according to the BBC, it was the right thing to do.
It is not even a racism.
No.
It's
a negative racism.
Yeah.
It's a minus racisms to discriminate against white applicants for jobs. And then, of course, you've got the police as well, who sit around setting targets of blacks. Not for criminal reasons, but instead for hiring them, which also, to be honest, I also think that's criminal. I think it should be criminal to discriminate against white applicants.
Yeah.
Radicals over here. Anyway, but they, many a time, have been caught as a result. This example in Cheshire, police force discriminated against white heterosexual male. The reason why, because he was white.
Yeah, you've watched all these videos with police officers who cannot basically enforce the law. It's the Twitter is full of them.
Yeah, usually 6-foot white men who are unable to. It's not, is it?
Or not necessarily 6 foot. You could say 3, 4 foot, but it's not just height or something. It's just it is obviously the case that the police department and bureaucracy is more interested in quotas and virtue signaling than actually thinking that policing is something that you need to care for the public good.
I mean, we'll get to dogs later, but let's say if you're attacked by rapists, I mean, who do you want to save you? The 4-foot
person who
black
can,
woman, or
the person who can,
the hulking man?
Yeah, the person who can. I don't care where they are from or something.
But there is differences in genetics, which I'm sick of people ignoring. It's like, funnily enough, men and women aren't the same. The same thing here with the backness of like, oh well, we'll just hire people who are BAME. It's like, what? But I mean, Jordan Peterson has put this way better than I can, obviously. But if you decide you're going to hire exclusively people on the basis of their race, well, then you're going to hire less competent candidates because there's only a pool of so many people from that race.
Yeah.
And then the pool of people who are competent from that race is a certain amount, as the same with the white group that you're looking at. But you've said, I'm going to start deleting competent white characters for incompetent brown characters because I want the certain percentage. It's like, well, that's the result then. You get incompetent people instead of just hiring on competence, regardless of the background. But
somehow they're hiring on grounds of race, but they're not doing a racism.
No, whereas the ex-police officers who have memes or group chats, they are doing a racism. There's just some more examples here of them doing the racisms. This is other police forces, as West Yorkshire here. And then just the point that in the meantime, they will also just lie to you about doing the racism themselves. They're like, yes, what we do is completely lawful. We don't do positive discrimination, except when we get caught doing it multiple times. But my point being, if you got a group chat, be careful. There are BBC journalists who are racists out there who will come in there and then try and get you sent to jail if you're British. And the alternative is just to move out of the country, which, yeah, I mean, there's not a short number of reasons for not doing that. But anyway, that's that. Keep your memes secret. If you appreciated that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content that's on the site, such as the Epoch series, this episode on Pit the Younger Part 2. If you'd like to find out what else is being put out, you can follow on Getter at lotuseaters_com on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.